get ready with me as we talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Part 2. Follow along and go check out Part 1 if you want to hear like my first kind of explanations and understandings of this complex social experiment that we see on this show. And it really gives us a sneak peek, or like a close-up, bird's eye and close-up view of female dynamics in friendships and how women operate within these groups and these power structures and how they support each other or don't support each other. And I think we can all relate to certain aspects and characters in the show. And I'm talking about how I relate to like all the characters in the show to some degree. I was saying in part 1 that like the people that I don't really relate with are like, I don't relate with Demi because I'm not a person that like uses power dynamics and like power and control to lord over people and like demand respect. And that's what she does. She's constantly trying to disempower other women so that she can step on them and rise above to the top. I had a friend like this in my last friendship group, and it absolutely ended up biting me in the ass because she orchestrated basically this group like kicking me out of their group. And it wasn't the first time she had done it. She had done it before, but unfortunately I didn't understand people like her. I didn't understand what was happening because I'm not that way. So I didn't realize that's what was going on, but she literally kicked me out of the group. She was the Demi in the group. I was talking about Taylor, how Taylor like just kind of commands respect because she has a pure heart. Like she wants the best for people and she brings women up with her. She's also doing work on herself. She has radical accountability, which somebody that is in the top of a queen bee friend group never has any accountability. They will never admit when they're wrong. They'd rather gaslight, blame, shift, project than actually ever take responsibility. And you'll see this with Demi. She will never take responsibility for anything that she ever does. She's always trying to skirt her way out of it. This is exactly how the leader of this last group that I was in was. And she basically orchestrated like kicking me out. And I'm going to say right now, I probably relate more with Whitney. And I know that's going to totally trigger you. Trust me, it triggers me too. Like she's very unlikable on the show, but I'm going to say like when I was in my all girlfriend group, I was probably more like her. Like she's confusing. You don't understand why she's doing what she's doing. You never know where you stand with her. And I would say I was probably a lot like her. I'm going to say I was also a lot like Taylor too. Like I'm going to give myself some credit because I was never one to like shy away and bow down to the queen bee. Like I'm not going to do that. I am my own person and I speak my mind and I speak it aloud. And even like towards the end of that friendship group, when I was in it, I was starting to stand on my own 2 feet and like step up as to who I am essentially and authentically. And that really pissed the queen bee off because one thing that will really piss somebody off who's completely inauthentic and not in touch with themselves is you being that. I would say I was more like Whitney because what I see with Whitney, and I'm just going to be honest, she is annoying in the show and I think the show like paints her annoying, but I'm going to say that she's actually kind of an outlier because she came into the group and just wanted to be loved and accepted, but she wanted to be loved and accepted for who she was, and she actually wanted to have real friendships. I remember one of the first conversations she had with the girls was about like her husband, who clearly there's a lot of problems in that relationship and like she probably shouldn't be in it. He's very unhealed. They're not a good match. There's no emotional intimacy. I can see them trying, but that's only because she is a very real person and I think she's probably carrying the weight of that relationship. But she came to the girls and she was like, hey, he's had this problem. He's been on Tinder. Like she was very authentic with them about the problems in her relationship. And they were just like, oh, like they didn't know how to handle it because women in these kind of dynamics are not real friends to each other. Like they don't talk to each other about what's really happening in their lives. They keep it a secret. Most of these women put on fronts as to what their relationship is really like. They don't want to really ever let people into what's truly going on, especially in this friendship group. You can see this in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like they do not want to let each other in. There's a lot of fake, like, oh, let's go to a party. Let's go to Chippendales. This is so fun for the gram. But there's no like real emotional intimacy. And this is exactly how my friendship group was. It was kind of like fake intimacy. And that's what these all girl friend groups are all about. They're all about looking good to other people, looking like you have a lot of friends, looking like you're valid because you yourself don't feel good enough. You don't feel okay standing on your own 2 feet. Not only that, you are not happy in your relationship. You don't feel fulfilled and supported in your relationship. So you need this outside like friendship group to make you feel like you are like valid and you are relevant. But there's no real emotional intimacy. You could see with Whitney, how she wanted real emotional intimacy in that moment. She wanted her friends to step up for her, and they just didn't. So after that happened, she was like, why am I friends with these people? These are not my real friends. Like, she wanted real friendships. She wanted friendships where people like actually like cried with you and like saw you and understood you and like truly supported you. Well, obviously this group can't do that because they can't even do it for themselves, okay? They can't do it for their partners. They're in terrible marriages. So they don't even know how to do that. So that's a huge ask. Like, that's not what this friendship group is about. It's not about real support, even though they say it is. It's about looking good on the outside and having something to do on Friday night so you don't have to spend it with your husband who you hate, who you have no emotional intimacy with. But Whitney is going into it like, well, I really do believe in female empowerment, like they're talking about. Like, I do believe that like we could get so much support from each other as women, but these women are not going to give it to her. So she feels burned. She probably has like a vulnerability hangover. She's like, I can't hang out with these people. So she takes a break and she leaves them. And they're like, wait, what? I mean, they don't have the tools or the capacity to be the friend that she needs them to be. And I think she recognizes this in like season 3 when she comes back for a brief period and she's like, hi, like maybe we can reconnect. Maybe you guys have like changed. No, they haven't. The dynamics are still all the same. All of these women are going to end up divorced in like 10 years. Okay. But like, they don't understand that. And like, Whitney doesn't really understand she's in a bad relationship either, but like, at least she's trying. She's probably been to a lot of therapy. She's literally hit rock bottom with her husband. Like, she's way far ahead of these women as far as like her growth and stuff. And it's like, she just should leave and not be friends with these people. The fact that she's friends with Demi, like, I'll never understand that. It's probably out of convenience. Like I said, Whitney's not that mature and she still has a lot of maturing to do. Caveat that I gave in the first part of this video, like, these women are immature and they've had way too much responsibility placed on their shoulders. So like, I in no way, shape, or form are like expecting them to like have it all together. They don't. They have 20 more years of wisdom and knowledge to glean before they truly understand these things. But like, me being a middle-aged woman and being in friendship groups like this my whole life, I can now scan out and see exactly what's happening. So I would say that I do relate with Whitney a lot. I do think that I'm a lot like Whitney in that I demand like real friendships. I'm not going to fake it. I don't care anymore. I don't care about having friends to go drink with at the winery or like, you know, to go out with on Friday night because I look good in my dress next to them for the Instagram picture. I don't care about that anymore. There was a time where that like worked for me, but I am just a deep person and I want real friendship. I want real loyalty. And I hate these power dynamics and pettiness that happens in friendship groups. Unfortunately, I saw it way too much in my friendship group because I was the type of person that could stand on my own and didn't have to deal with it and wouldn't cower and like try to be friends with everyone so that I would be accepted. This leads me to my point of like Layla. Even Michaela's kind of this way. Macy, like they're trying to be friends with everyone. They don't want to get involved in the drama. The only reason why Layla is being more snarky in season 3 is because it's literally required of her to like, for her contract probably to stay on the show because she's zero drama and that is boring on TV. But like, she's the type of woman that will just totally stay out of drama, try to be friends with everyone. She never takes a stand, which they think that they're doing the right thing by doing that. Like they're rising above the drama, but in reality, they're standing for nothing because they're not self-actualized enough to like even know who they are and to even stand on business as far as what's right or wrong. They'll just always be neutral. And what happens is, and this happened in my friend group, the queen bee will easily garner these people in her favor and in her corner and manipulate them to play into her social dynamics that are destructive and toxic and really just power moves. And she will grab these people like chess pieces and she'll like coordinate them in her corner to garner power and control over people that she deems a threat. In Demi's case, she considers Jesse a threat. And she considers all of the castmates a threat because she wants to be at the top. But in general, it was Jessie was her target. And this is the thing with these queen bees. They will always have a target and they will like hone all of their attention on that target. And once they get that target out, it moves to another target. So just because you think you're in the group, Layla, and these neutral characters that want to stay out of drama, like you're going to be a target at some point. So you actually have to figure it out and like stand on business and be a stronger person and like take a side.